Right.
So
He's kind of the scapegoat a little bit.
yeah, definitely. So
And he brings along his friend. His friend's with him too.
Mhm.
He brings a can.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is October 8th, and we have our next movie for our 31 Days of Halloween. It is 2005's House of Wax. Yes, House of Wax is a very interesting movie, and I picked it because I remember all of the craze in high school. Because this came out about my freshman year of high school, and I remember everybody talking about it over the weekend that it came out, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, did you see that movie?" Oh, but I have vague memories. Like, I can't really recall how this movie exactly went. And upon creating the list this year, I was like, yeah, why not? Why not? I remember people talking about it when it came out. Um, has some pretty big names in it, obviously. Paris Hilton, uh, what's Jared Padalecki, who is Sam from Supernatural, if anybody loves that show. Like, and I love that show. And Jared's awesome, and I know my wife loves him too from Gilmore Girls. So but also it has Chad Michael Murray in it, and a couple of other actors that we know from the mid 2000s TV kind of land. So yeah, but House of Wax, it was a interesting rewatch for sure. um it's this is the first time for you. I mean, I really didn't recall any of this movie, so this felt like a first time for me.
Yeah, this was a first time watch for me. And I believe this movie is a remake of House of Wax that was made during the 50s. I don't know if it was 53, 58. I don't know the actual date, but I think this is a remake of this movie.
It is.
Going into this movie, I didn't know what to expect. So it's like, okay, it's a remake. It's a Dark Castle production. So I just like, yeah, the Dark Castle productions over the past, there's been a couple of them. I think 13 Ghosts was a movie that we covered. Was that first season? I think it was the first season.
One of them, we covered it.
Yeah, we covered it. I think it was the first season of our 31 days. And it was a Dark Castle picture. And this was also a Dark Castle picture. And I just like, okay, this could be good or this could be bad going into it, because this movie was a first time for me. So this movie actually, the pacing works in this movie. I believe it's well done. The characters itself are introduced, and they're just a bunch of college teens or high school teens. It doesn't really specifically say.
I was, it's funny that you say that, because I literally, upon watching it, was like, what are they? Like,
It doesn't say.
No.
So they're going to, I think it's in Florida. They're going to a football game, and they camp out near an old town which has been abandoned for years. And they're camping out there, and they hear noises at night, but they have a strange occurrence with a guy in a truck.
Yeah, he comes, they kind of like are like, what do you want? And the guy just sits there in the truck, and eventually they don't really scare him off, but he leaves. So
Yeah, he leaves. So knowing our characters, we have Paris Hilton. She's with this other guy, and I think they're just a couple that's having difficulties going through, the relationship. And then we have another couple, they're dating, and she's going to go off to a career. And we have her brother, which is kind of like an outcast. He's kind of like
he was meant to be like a football star. What I got from it, but he kind of like has a little bit of a rough like going toward about him. Like, he kind of gets in a lot of trouble a lot on purpose, it seems, almost, because of why, I don't know. And it seems like he blames pretty much everybody for any kind of decisions that he makes. And even his sister even says that, like, what, like, I think he blames his sister for not covering for her because he got arrested, I believe, because he stole a car and also just a bunch of other things that he's done. He's the screw up, as he put it. So, and he kind of is just tagging along so that if anything goes wrong, he'll just take the blame because that's kind of like he just beats him. He beats himself up.
Right.
So,
He's kind of the scapegoat a little bit.
yeah, definitely. So,
And he brings along his friend. His friend's with him too.
Mhm.
He brings a camera and he's like messing around there, like, oh, with the camera. So we go along through this story, and as they start camping there, they notice an odor, like a smell. In the morning, they wake up, and they come across the smell again. So reluctantly, one of our characters, we're so bad with names with characters. She ventures off down the path with Paris Hilton's character. They stumble upon this ravine with all these dead corpses of animals, and they see a hand sticking out, and there's an individual across. It's kind of a weird, peculiar individual, and he says, "Oh, it's just a mannequin," and they're freaking out because they think it's a dead body.
Yeah.
Then this individual decides to help Wade, and already forgot the character's name.
It's fine. We're introduced to a lot. Like, we're introduced to these characters not in a very good way of presenting the characters. You kind of just like are figuring it out, and sometimes they don't even say their names when they're referring to each other, so it's just kind of like hard to figure out.
So they go with this individual, and he's got a creepy element to him. He's got knives, and he's taking these bodies to this ravine, these animal bodies, and they stop across. There's a break in the road where they have to cross like a brick, like a river or something like that, because the road is just, it's keeled over or whatever.
Yeah.
And they go across. They said that, well, there's a town over there, and they go into this town, and this town is just is not what it seems. This town is like it's been vacant for years.
It looks like a 1950s like drive-through town, like Radiator Springs from Cars or something.
Yeah. So they go through this town, and everything seems like it's normal. There's cars parked in their places. You have the garage, the local garage. They have, the little neighborhoods, and then you have the little shops that are around town, like the pet store and then the grocery convenience store. And they're walking through this town, and he's looking for a fan belt for his car, because apparently someone messed with his fan belt, so they couldn't leave. When they were camping, when they left, they look for the fan belt. No one's there. In the auto shop, they see this house of wax. And so this house of wax just looks peculiar. It's empty. They walk through it, and there's all kinds of recreated scenes in there. And as you find out, they go in there, they stumble upon it, they come out, and they find an individual at the church. Apparently he's at a funeral, but it's not really a funeral. He comes out and he says, "Oh, I own the gas station. I'll get you the fan belt you need."
Yeah.
And they meet him. He goes, "Oh, I have the fan belt up the house. I don't have that size here, but I have it up at the house." They go up to the house, and things start happening.
Yep. That's where pretty much the entire movie starts unfolding, and you find out that this pair of brothers is just straight up crazy, and it seems like they take after their mother. Not that she was crazy. Well, I mean, she definitely could have been crazy, because if you go back to the beginning of this movie, you get kind of a little flashback sequence to where there is a good brother and a bad brother, and they have to like literally restrain the bad brother in like a high chair in order to like eat his meals. So you like see that they strap his wrists and they strap his legs to the high chair and like just to for him to behave. So you kind of see that there's some kind of weird past that these two brothers have. For what reason that they decided to be the insane antagonists that they are in this film, I don't really remember it giving any like direct reason of why they're doing this. But yeah, their mother was a wax maker, so um, and kind of like basically took after that and like, oh my god, dude, they recreate the whole town in wax basically. um
It's basically victims of people that have wandered in this town and they've used them as prop characters in their town.
yeah, so all the wax figures are actual people, and you even see that with the freaking Jared's character Wade. He's the first victim, and basically he gets snipped his Achilles and taken, and then you know put waxed all over him, so, like, and displayed. And it's not until the friend finds him later that he's
Nick's
like,
friend.
Nick's friend's like, holy shit, like there you are, like, and you can't see that he can't move, like he's alive, but he's like wax now, like, and so he like tries to like peel the wax off of his face, but it's just pulling all of his skin off. And eventually then our horror antagonist comes in, the crazy brother, and starts
Vincent's his name.
yeah, Vincent, there it is. And starts going after him, and it just pretty much spirals into a killing spree at this point, like throughout the entirety of the rest of the film. And it's done okay.
Yeah, there's some pretty brutal kills. I mean, Vincent, the kid stumbles out in the house and he like, I think he cuts
he decapitates him.
He decapitates him with like a pair of like scissors or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
Or like knives or scissors or something. Which I thought was kind of cool because his like head rolls a little and you see that he's like, his brain's still working because it just happened. So his eyes are blinking and it's like, oh, I was like, that's pretty gnarly actually.
Yeah. And then there's another kill that he does to Paris Hilton. He kind of like impales her with she grabs like a rod or a pipe, and then he finds her and then uses it and kills her with it.
Yeah.
So there's that one that's pretty brutal. We also have the other brother, which is supposedly supposed to be the better brother, but he's just as psychotic as Vincent.
Yeah.
He takes our other Wade's girlfriend hostage as well, and he sews her mouth shut in a scene. Also, her brother Nick comes trying to look for her, and she's reaching out of the gutter, and he like clips her finger. He clips her finger off, and so he's pretty much demented as much as his brother, older brother or younger brother Vincent. I don't know if they're twins.
I don't know.
But we do find out something about something else towards the end. Yeah, so you're going through this, and we have this cool end sequence about when they get Vincent and they go into the house. They like they're trying to lure both the brothers because they go to the movie theater and they have a confrontation with the psycho brother. They shoot him with a crossbow and whatnot, and then they go back to the house and they lure him in the basement and they start a fire down there. And since the town is all linked and it's like linked to the House of Wax,
yeah,
we have this cool sequence of the House of Wax is made all of wax, so it starts to melt.
Yeah, everything melts.
And you have your final confrontation. Our final girl is like there with
Chad Michael Murray's character.
with Vincent, and they get out of there, the House of Wax melts, and then we have the ending sequence with the cops coming to the town, and then it ends and we find out that the guy that was crazy that gave them a lift was the third brother.
Yeah. So that's the House of Wax. I think that it like I'm trying to like place how I feel about this movie because I feel like it's probably a 2.5 or a 3 for me. Out of 5 if I'm rating it. And it's not that it's like it's just okay. And I remember, back in the mid 2000s, like this played on the FX channel a lot. Also, it was an FX movie for sure, which is funny. And I think that like, it's just okay. I think the problem for me is probably the writing, because like its cinematography is fine. It's not bad. It's not doing anything new. Um, but the story just seems kind of weak. It seems kind of like ditzy. All the characters kind of their dialogue was kind of just like, man, like we're just dumb teens doing dumb things and going to see dumb shit. Like, so it's not like anything special, but it has that like it that in itself has always been a charming like aspect of horror movies. We've seen it since Friday the 13th. You know, dumb kids. we've seen it. We've seen it a million times over. But I don't think that this film tried hard enough to do something new. I think that the premise is cool. The House of Wax is uh an awesome detail. In fact, like the entirety of that part of this movie where the mystery lies in what happened to all of these people in this town, and then the reveal of like they're all real people. It's really cool. It's a lot of really awesome stuff in this. I just think that a lot of things could have definitely been done better, and maybe a little bit more like explanation on why they are doing this.
Yeah, because
So
you don't get much. You get, like, I forgot to say when I started talking about this movie, and the beginning sequence does really only give you
that's
that.
it, though.
That's all you get about these characters. You get that, the mother, like I said, the mother was a wax sculptor. The dad was some sort of doctor, and well, also, right, I wanted to add while you're mentioning this sequence was, we find out later that these kids were twins, and they were actually together, and
Oh
they
yeah,
had to
conjoined.
separate them. They
Yeah,
were joined, and so Vincent didn't have an eyeball or something like that.
yeah. He
And
was disfigured.
he was disfigured, and he was wearing a mask as well. And it also doesn't explain the third brother at the end. You hear that from the officer. Oh, there's another brother. I'm like, well, it'd be nice to know where that brother was.
Yeah.
And where was he?
What
And
what
he just shows up for 10 minutes, and then you never see him until the end of the movie. He's like this on this truck or something. It's just like,
it's just like a random twist. This is like
yeah.
they're trying to be clever, but it wasn't clever. So, um, yeah. I mean, I think it's just an okay movie. I'm gonna give it a 2.5, which is 5 out of 10. So, what would you give this movie?
I'm really alongside you. I'll just give it a little higher score just because I liked the cinematography and the whole production set of the House of Wax, and the end sequence when it melts is kind of cool. I kind of like how they get out of the House of Wax barely, but it melts the whole time as we're going through that last sequence and the confrontation with Vincent. So I guess I'll give it an extra point, but it's not, like I said, I'm not going to reiterate. It's nothing special. It's just an okay movie.
Yeah.
It's an okay horror movie. It's nothing we haven't seen before. And I'd be reluctant to watch the original and see if the original is better.
Yeah,
and,
like
and how this is a remake of the original. What's the premise of the original movie? Because I've never seen it.
me neither. So I'm definitely curious of that as well. But we're reaching that time, so it's our fun fact time.
Fun facts for House of Wax.
Fun facts for House of Wax. The town of Ambrose was constructed in 10 weeks and was modeled after a real town in Eritrea called Asmara. Asmara was built by the Italians in Africa during World War II in the modern style rather than the Deco style, which was more popular at the time. Jared Padalecki is 1 foot taller than co-star Elisha Cuthbert. To make her appear taller in scenes where she and Padalecki would be filmed together, Cuthbert taped 2-inch blocks of wood on the bottom of her boots.
So they'd be the same height.
This was only done
That's
during
hilarious.
scenes where they would be shot from the knee up. So
That's funny.
that is funny. I like movie magic like that. So they do that with Tom Cruise actually a lot. I don't know if they tape blocks of wood to him, but they definitely do tricky angles to make him look taller. Aside from the title and the setting of a wax museum, this film has no connection to the original film House of Wax in terms of plot. So, okay, I am curious to see what the original movie is about then. Despite getting poor reviews and doing decently at the box office, the film gained a cult classic following in the years since its release. Jared Padalecki and Paris Hilton later appear in an episode of Supernatural together, also centered around a wax museum. There's even reference to the movie in the episode.
That's cool.
I don't remember that episode. I've seen all of Supernatural, and I don't remember that episode. Brian Van Holt plays the role of both Beau and Vincent Sinclair, undergoing an extensive hair and makeup transformation for the later.
So he played the same character?
Yeah.
The crazy brother and then Vincent?
Yeah, he played both.
Okay.
Though the film takes place in Louisiana, USA, the film was actually shot in Australia. Paris Hilton was the first to sign on, and then the cast was built around her.
That's cool.
I mean, this was her time. This was her time where she was getting super popular. So the film was documented in a miniseries on MTV called Movie Life: House of Wax. The series follows the cast and crew from pre-production to the film's premiere. Despite making an abysmal $12 million opening weekend on a $40 million budget, the film was moderately successful in terms of ultimately earning $32 million domestically. The film made $70 million worldwide, which still wasn't enough to recoup the entire budget, resulting in the film being a financial disappointment. The film eventually made its money back on home video sales and rentals.
It was one of those where they just hardly broke even.
Yeah, just barely. So, and then one more. The first end credits song on one of the songs on the film's soundtrack, Helena, which is by the rock band My Chemical Romance, was released about 2 months before the film's release and was already a huge hit. The song went on to become the definitive song for My Chemical Romance. So
that's cool.
That is cool.
It's probably boosted sales a little bit because of the success of the song and the band at the time.
Yeah, that's like the entry point for My Chem. It blew up after that. So, yeah, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching our episode on the House of Wax. Thank you so much for just following along with us all October. Actually, I just want to do a little shout out to you guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everything. And if you feel like continuing to support us, don't forget to go to patreon.com/thecalvincam. Go over there, join the community. We also have all the socials, Instagram, TikTok. Go over there, join us. We post clips of our episodes over there, and I like to interact with y'all in the comments and stuff. So, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube. So, I really appreciate you all, and we will catch you on tomorrow's episode.
See you then.